Hello and welcome to a slightly shorter MrMatchat this week. As you can see, we're talking about the Novelist. And in between this and the last video, I've gone away, I've played quite a few games and stuff like that, and I've always had like the Novelist sitting on my desktop. And I thought, well, you know, I knew going into it, it was quite a heavy story-driven game and stuff like that, and I thought it was quite interesting. So I kind of just wanted to talk about it, really. That's the point of me chatting about stuff. But for those who don't know too much about it, the Novelist is essentially it's quite a short story-driven game. And it has you in the role of, I guess, a ghost, and you're possessing someone's house, and you're sort of like... It's got quite an interesting stealth system, because the way it is, you traverse the house by going from light to light source, to avoid, you know, detection of just walking around. And you have to sort of like read people's thoughts, read like notes left around, to try and work out what the three main characters, there's Dan the father, who, as the title of the thing is the Novelist. There's a child Tommy, who's, you know, just a kid, and the wife Linda, who's an artist in her spare time. So what you have to do is you have to you go through, you try and find out what they desire most, and then at the end of it you whisper to Dan your choice with like so you sort of like you work out and you try and balance who's. So what you have to try and do is you have to try and balance whose desires are, like, you know, you deem more important than others and stuff like that. But what I found really interesting is right at the start of the game, there was a choice between playing it traditionally, like, you know, with the stealth in or something, or just play it through a story mode in which you could just walk around freely and stuff like that. And to really have that option, I don't know, I was sort of like, I was like, oh, okay, that's really cool to be able to sort of like just simply pick up a game and play it and just to sort of enjoy the storyline. And I think it's something a few games could benefit from. I mean, like I said, the stealth is quite interesting. You know, it does add that sort of element of challenge, having to avoid being seen and stuff like that. But the idea of not having a fail state allows you to, I don't know, somewhat immerse yourself more in the situation. That's what I did. I actually played it just the storyline alone. So I'm coming from more a story perspective. And it is quite interesting. So basically what happens is, I'm going to try and not give too many spoilers or anything like that, but once you find your three choices and stuff like that, you choose which one you find the most important, and then you have like a compromise for another one of the two. So either like, so if you wanted to make Dan work on his book, make it that his choice, then you could improvise, sorry, not improvise, you could compromise for like his son, for example, and to say rather than going to the park, they spend a little time playing together, as like, you know. And it is really interesting because it's essentially it's across it's 3 months. It's about 3 months, and with like, I don't know, about three. So there's like 9 chapters in it, and each chapter is quite you know, long and stuff like that. And you're sort of like making important decisions that come up as they arise and stuff like that. And it does get you honestly thinking about what do you value. You know, are you sort of, do you want to value this guy's work to make sure, you know, the family has an income, or do you want to focus on trying to improve the condition of their marriage, or do you want to make sure that, you know, the son doesn't feel too neglected and, you know, continues his growth and stuff like that. And in the again, not to give too many spoilers, something like that, some of the choices you do make, so like towards the start and stuff like that, you sort of discover that there's some issues with, yeah, like I said, there's some issues with their marriage and stuff like that. I was like, okay, well, I want to do what I can to make the marriage, you know, better and stuff like that. So if, you know, they go on a date together or something like that, you know, that'll be good. But then you somehow get the impact of some of your choices are also a little bit extreme, sometimes a little bit like too extreme or something like that, and you just think, okay, well, I didn't play with, you know, my son last week, and you know, the boy last week and stuff like that, and, you know, now he's seemingly a spiraling you know, depressant and stuff like that. Which, I mean, it's not to say that's not realistic. You know, it's that's what I like, the fact that you, in those moments and stuff like that, you can't really work out the impact straight away. And it's kind of having that third perspective of you being like a visitor, on like a fly on the wall, so to speak, and to be able to actually see the impact week by week. It's you know, it's interesting, and it does kind of keep you on your toes, because after you go through the first few rounds, you're like, oh, I have more power than originally I thought I did.
Do you think coming down?
And you have to value, you know, it's. There's a lot of situations which it will literally say, you get the impression that if I don't do this, this guy's book isn't going to be very good, or this guy's and their relationship's going to take a massive hit because if they don't want to do something, or the kid's going to continue to feel neglected and stuff like that. And it's I don't know. It's one of the games where you won't get anything if you go try and go the neutral. You're not. It's not going to be rewarding. You do have to sort of say, okay, no, I'm putting my foot down. This is what I want. And it's a relatively short game. It's about I don't know how much it's going for. There'll be a Steam page or other bottom of the page and stuff like that. I think it's going for something between £10 to £15 or your country's equivalent and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it was. I definitely enjoyed the game. That's why I wanted to talk about it and stuff like that. I wouldn't talk about something that I didn't enjoy. But it's one of the weird thing is you fall into a pan. Each time you start a session, what you do is you search the house, you try and find all the pickup things, and you read their thoughts. You go see what happens in the week and stuff like that. And I don't know how intentional this was or anything like that. But you fall into a pattern. You're just like, okay, well, I'll deal with the dad first, see what he wants. Then I'll go to Linda, then I'll go to Tommy, and you just sort of go through. You work out what they want, and then you sort of compare them and stuff like that. You do fall into routine, and it feels like that the reason why it's the novel is sort of set across a summer, so that there's a summer vacation where they're trying to get away from everything. And again, just sort of break out that routine and sort of help with his writing or get some artistic inspiration, or just find more friends in Tommy's case. But you do I just sort of break out of that sort of that routine. But you as a player sort of fall into a routine. I don't know. I don't know if I'm reading too deep into anything like this, but that's what I really find potentially fascinating and stuff like that. It's what the gameplay is, because you're still making important choices and stuff like that. The gameplay doesn't feel too repetitive and stuff like that, and the narration and sort of the audio in this game is really, really good quality and stuff like that. So whoever's done some of the voice acting for both Dan and Linda, they've done a really, really good job, because it feels real. I mean, I lost myself in the game while I was playing it, which I think is a really it's a seal of approval for me, as I've already said. I think the game does handle childhood quite well. It's from the eyes of Tommy and stuff like that. I don't know. I remember the first time he sometimes leaves drawings over the place and stuff like that, and it's just the first time you see someone with more depressing drawings and stuff like that. It's just come on, kid, don't be like that. Come on, and that's what I mean. It's I'm not a parent, I should probably say. I'm coming up to. I'm 19 years old. I'm not. Don't have any kids yet. Not knowingly anyway. But it does sort of you put you in thing of oh, wow, if you really have to sort of keep an eye on your kid and stuff, and it's reflected in the gameplay and stuff like that, where it's sort of that idea of playing really helps someone grow, and just sort of it helps with the mind, and it helps you grow as a person and stuff like that. And either it's whether it's playing with other kids or playing with their parents, or even helping them read. It's I don't know. I think that it's a great insight into a family, and it's going back to the comparison of a fly on the wall. You do feel like that, but if a fly at the end of each day would just whisper in your ear and go, "Oh, do you mind, doing this tomorrow? I think it'd be nice." And then you go, "Oh, all right, fly. Yeah, no, that sounds alright." But the only last thing I can really add is the art style. It's quite unique. It's simplistic, and it's it's nice. I quite like it. It's nothing too flashy and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's quite pleasing. I think the simplicity behind it and stuff like that is. It's actually currently reminiscent of Gone Home. I think it's that similar style. It's not ultra realistic, but it's sort of borderline cartoon, but there's still enough sort of realism that you can sort of put yourself in the situation. So basically, yeah, to summarise, yeah, Novelist, I enjoyed it. I would definitely pick it up. I think, you know, if you're listening to this and you've sort of seen it around and go, oh, that looks interesting, go back and pick it up. And if, I'm a little bit late to talking about reviewing it or anything like that, you know, but I think you need to, if when you come across something that you really enjoy, it's good to sort of sit down and talk about it, and that's what I've done here. But yeah, no, be sure to go check out the game. Click the link. Just, you know, even just like watch the trailers and stuff for it. I think you'll get a good feel whether you'll enjoy the game or not. But yeah, this has been MrMatchow. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. I'll probably be posting something else later on, maybe next week. I don't know. No promises. Don't check the date on this and then look at the video if something hasn't been released for 3 months. But you know, this is more me coming in and saying, oh, I really enjoyed this. You should play this. And as and when I find games that have enough discussion points and stuff like this, and I felt, yeah, Novelist was a good one. But yeah, thanks again. Peace, bye.